All right, second day here, and we're talking now about algebra. And I think we should, hey, we're going to do this in a series of videos, but the video that we're going to hit here is going to talk about, that's going to do some of the background stuff to do the calculator stuff, and then I'll have two separate videos, one for people who use 83s and one for people who use Inspires, that will go through the calculator skills. And then we're going to work on equations of lines. We'll come back to the composite functions and the even odds and some of the graphing in a subsequent video. So start here, doing our homework for the calculator skills. I will get to this problem in a second, but I wanted to make sure that I had my, some of my background stuff done so that when you go to the calculator video, you'll see that when we go to solve a system of equations, the first thing I've got to be able to do is I've got to be able to get y by itself. So in this equation, I'm going to move the y to this side. So I've really got x squared. If I move the 3 to the left, minus 3 is one of my equations. And my other equation, I'm going to do the same thing. How about x minus 1 is equal to y? That will be the system of equations that I will solve in the calculator video in a couple of minutes. I just want to make sure everybody had the same information on that. Equations of lines. Okay, what do I need? I got to have a point and a slope to write the equation of a line, or I've got to have 2 points so I can find the slope. So review. I'm hoping that by now you're really good at finding slope. If you're not, then you need some practice on this. So change in y. Y's go from 5 minus 2. X's go 4 minus -1. How much do they change? We're not talking about it. We're talking about subtracting the x values, subtracting the y values. The y is on the top. 3 over, how about 5? So there's my slope. Now I'm a big fan of the point slope form. The point slope form of an equation of a line says y minus y1 is equal to the slope times x minus x1. So now we're going to start plugging things in. I just found that my slope was supposed to be 3/5. Well, now I need to come up with an x value and a y value that would go together. I'm going to choose to use the 0.45. So if we're going to use the 0.45, let's do that in a different color. I'm going to use the 0.45. That means the 4 is going in place of that x, and the 5 is going in place of that y. And one of the things that maybe you've picked up on, or maybe you know and maybe you don't, there's nothing wrong with leaving y minus 5 is equal to 3/5 times the quantity x minus 4 as your equation of your line. If you wanted to go further with it, of course, you could distribute the 3/5. This is a fine answer. If you wanted to go further with it, how about, let's see, so we would have to distribute the 3/5. 3/5 x minus 4 times 3/5 would be 12/5, and we'd have to add the 5 to the other side of the equation. So how about the equation y is equal to 3/5 x, let's see, 12/5, 5 would be 25/5 plus 13/5. Either one of those equations in the boxes would be acceptable. Now, the equation of a line that goes through the point -1, 2 that's perpendicular to the line in problem number 1, let me set up the same thing. So let's see. So we go y minus y1 is equal to my slope times x minus my x1. Well, now all we got to do again is have a point and a slope. Well, we have a point. According to this thing, we're supposed to use the point -1, 2. So let's put -1 in place of the x value. Let's put 2 in place of the y value. All I need is slope. Well, if I need a slope, if that slope is supposed to be perpendicular to the line in problem number 1, well, a perpendicular slope would be the opposite reciprocal. So now let's take that over to our equation, and let's throw -5/3 in place of that slope. Rewrite this. Y minus 2 is equal to -5/3 times the quantity x plus 1. That would be a perfectly acceptable answer. And then if you wanted to distribute, how about -5/3 x minus 5/3, and then we'd have to add 2 to the other side. 2 would be the same as 6/3. So another acceptable answer would be y is equal to -5/3 x plus 1/3.